woke up this morning with nothing interesting to say. The problem you were stuck on yesterday is still stuck. Your brain feels like flat soda. There is a reason for that, and it has nothing to do with coffee. It has to do with the last 90 minutes of sleep that your alarm clock carved out of your night, the only window in 24 hours, when your brain was physically building the associations between distant ideas that you call having a good idea. You didn't sleep through your best thinking. You amputated it. The architecture was first mapped in 1953. A graduate student named Eugene Aserinsky, pronounced Aserinsky, working with the physiologist Aserinsky Kleitman at the University of Chicago, noticed that closed eyelids during sleep did not stay still. They twitched rhythmically in bursts that returned roughly every 90 minutes. 3 rules followed, and they are all you need to keep in your head. 1. Sleep is not one state. Under the modern clinical standard, it is 4. 3 stages of non-REM, each deeper than the last, plus the state Aserinsky found, called REM for rapid eye movement. 2. Those stages cycle. Each full cycle is about 90 minutes. The ultradian rhythm Kleitman later named the basic rest activity cycle. 3. The cycles are not equal. The first cycle of the night is mostly deep, slow-wave sleep, with barely 10 minutes of REM. The last cycle, the one your alarm usually interrupts, can contain 45 minutes of REM, sometimes 60, and yet almost everything you were taught about sleep treats an hour as an hour. Here is what is actually happening in those last 2 hours. Step 1. Your sleep pressure, the chemical called adenosine that accumulates every minute you are awake, has been drained through 3 cycles of deep, slow-wave sleep. Your brain no longer needs slow-wave sleep the way it did at midnight. Step 2. Because slow-wave pressure is gone, the biological clock takes over. Circadian signals from the SCN, the suprachiasmatic nucleus, a cluster of about 20,000 neurons deep in the hypothalamus, start promoting REM. Body temperature begins its pre-dawn rise. Cortisol starts climbing. The stage is set. Step 3. Acetylcholine floods the cortex. In rodent microdialysis studies, the cleanest measurements we have of the chemistry in real time. Cortical acetylcholine during REM reaches levels that match or exceed waking, and several times the levels seen in deep non-REM sleep. At the same time, the usual wake chemicals, norepinephrine and serotonin, shall fall nearly to 0. That combination does not exist anywhere else in your 24-hour day. This still feels like ordinary biology. This is where it stops being ordinary. You assumed, without noticing, that sleep is rest, that the brain is idling, that the useful work of the mind happens when you are awake, and that sleep is just the downtime between shifts. None of that is true. During REM, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the region that runs rule checking, logical constraints, the inner editor that says that idea is stupid, is selectively switched off. The part of your brain whose entire job is to reject unusual combinations is offline. At the same time, the hippocampus is replaying fragments of the day, and cortical networks are free to link them in ways that waking cognition would never permit. This is not a metaphor. This is the neurochemical signature of what creativity researchers call remote association, binding 2 concepts that, in waking logic, belong to different categories. Your brain did not evolve a clock for Monday morning deadlines. It evolved one for an equatorial plane where dawn was a suggestion. The alarm clock is a 2-century-old invention. intersecting an architecture that is roughly 200,000 years old, shaped well before alarm clocks existed, at the exact phase when that architecture is doing its most distinctive work. Every time you are yanked out of the fourth or fifth cycle, you are interrupting a process the waking brain cannot reproduce. Coffee cannot restore it. Rest cannot restore it. Only another night can. In 2002, Matthew Walker, working with Alan Hobson and Robert Stickgold, ran a simple experiment. They woke volunteers at different points in the night and made them solve anagrams, scrambled letters that have to be rearranged into a real word. Subjects pulled out of REM sleep solved 32% more anagrams than subjects pulled out of non-REM sleep. Same people, same puzzles, different sleep stage. 7 years later, Denise Kai and Sarah Mednick at the University of California ran the harder test. They gave subjects the remote associates test, a standard tool in creativity research. You see 3 words like cottage, Swiss, cake, and your task is to find the single word that connects all 3. The answer, in that case, is cheese. They designed it as a within-subject study. Every participant was tested under every condition, which removes the usual excuse that the REM group was just luckier or smarter. The group whose nap contained REM sleep improved by roughly 40% on the items they had failed in the morning. The group that napped without REM, or just rested quietly awake, did not improve at all. The effect is specific to REM, not sleep in general, not quiet time, not letting it percolate. The REM portion of sleep, the portion your alarm is probably cutting off every morning. This is as close to a direct measurement of creativity as neuroscience has. Creativity is not a trait. It is a phase. Specifically, it is what a brain does when its editor is offline. Its chemistry is unusual, and its memory systems are free to recombine. The same neurochemical recipe that lets you dream about riding an elephant through your childhood bedroom is the recipe that lets you see, in the morning, why the problem you could not solve yesterday has a simple answer after all. Notice the implication. The aha moment is not waiting for you in the shower. It was built, piece by piece, across the final 2 hours of your night, while you were unconscious, while your prefrontal editor was silent, while acetylcholine was rearranging the links between things your waking mind had treated as unrelated. Take that window away, and you do not just feel tired. You lose access to an entire mode of thinking. Research, design, writing, engineering, whole categories of work depend on it. And most of the people who do that work sleep 6 hours, cut short by an alarm every weekday of their lives. Sleep researchers still do not know, in a fundamental sense, what REM is doing. They know it is necessary. Remove it, and memory integration falters. Emotional regulation collapses. Creative performance, measured directly, as in the Kai and Mednick study, flatlines. They know when it happens. They know what chemistry it runs on, which regions it deactivates, which it amplifies. They do not know what the process is for, only what its absence breaks. Every night, somewhere between 4 and 7 in the morning, you enter a state whose purpose is still an open problem in neuroscience, a state that produces, as a side effect, the ideas you will take credit for during the day. Is it worth cutting 90 minutes of that off for a commute? The problem you were stuck on yesterday is still stuck because the last 90 minutes of your night, the minutes that would have solved it, are not in your biology this morning. They are in your alarm clock. They are in the commute you had to make. They are in a culture that treats sleep as what you do. When there is nothing better to do, you are not uncreative. You are underslept. In the one phase that matters, every week another piece of the machinery that runs your night. Subscribe. The next episode might change what you think you know about your own brain.